Okay, everybody, we're going to get started here. I'd like to thank everybody for joining us here this morning. What we're going to go through is an overview of some of the feature highlights of Management Reporter 2012. We were out at Convergence last month, and they kind of did a presentation similar to this one where they highlighted some of the new changes to Management Reporter 2012. So some of the things are pretty exciting that they're doing with the solution, and hope everybody enjoys the presentation today. Colin Williams, one of our senior consultants here at KTL, is going to be taking us through the presentation. We do have everyone's lines muted, and if you do have questions during the presentation, please use the chat window, and we will have an opportunity at the end to ask questions and open up for discussion. So, Colleen.
Hi, everybody. Just to be clear, this is Management Reporter 2012, just came out. It's an upgrade to the previous existing version of Management Reporter. So we're not really going to go through all the new things with Management Reporter as opposed to Management Reporter versus FRX. We're just going to look at the existing Management Reporter and what's new in this new version. So that's kind of what we're going through. If you have any questions about differences between Management Reporter and FRX, feel free to ask those questions. I'll get to them at the end. But again, what we're going to go over is just the new version of Management Reporter and what it has to offer. The key themes in this are the interactive report viewing. Those are some of the things that have changed. We're not going to cover the deeper Dynamics ERP integration. Those are Management Reporter is now available for AX and Navision, as an initial install was not. The next is report collaboration and design flexibility. Those are kind of our topics of what we're going to go over today. The highlights of 2012 is it has 30+ new features in it. They took a lot of suggestions. They do now have multiple countries are now supported in 2012 that weren't, and it did get very high ratings with the new. Management Reporter 2012, in the interactive report viewing, some of the things that you're going to see, and we'll go over them, attach components to important rows in a report version, copy comments from one version of a report to another, quickly create a chart based upon selected rows and columns, collaborate on a report by providing a link to a current report and selected row when launching Instant Messenger client, easily page within a report, jump keys to be able to jump through reports faster, locate keys to be able to locate information in your report faster, and find a key value in a report such as an account value or a description. The first thing we're going to get a little bit more into is attach comments to important rows in a report version. You'll see down here on my report, you'll see over here on this facilities line, you'll see a little notebook. Anybody who uses GP or Solomon is familiar with those little note tabs on your customer maintenance or vendor maintenance cards. Those are to be able to put notes on cards inside your Great Plains. Well, now your reporting feature has the same ability. You can very easily go to a line and add a note, and when it exports to Excel, that note still exists in Excel, or it stays on your printed version as well. You'll see over here on the left-hand side, down by facilities, you see the note. On the right-hand side, you can click on that line and then see what that note says. So if you're an accountant and you're issuing your reports for the month, you can add your notes instead of having a cover page. You can also put your notes embedded within your report. So a supervisor or a manager can very quickly see the notes as they go through the report, and they're not toggling two or three pieces of paper to see questions or comments on reports. The next thing we're going to go over is quickly create a chart based upon reports and rows. You can very easily now, and we'll get to a little quick sheet, but you can very easily, by selecting rows or columns, create 5 different types of charts. You can create a bar chart, a column chart, a line, a pie, in an area. You can save this with your report so that once your reports are generated and published, people can not only see the report, but they can also see the charts that you have embedded in the report. You can also use these for presentations and other applications as well. Next is collaborate on a report by providing a link to a current report and selecting a row when launching Instant Messenger client. A lot of companies now use Instant Messenger, and people talk back and forth through Instant Messenger all day long. Well, now you can add that level of detail to your actual report so that you're not sending an email with an attachment back and forth. You can actually instant message while inside your report. And you can instant message a particular line, and if you see a variance, that kind of stuff. So if you're a manager and you're looking at a report and you have a question for accounting, instead of typing up an email and attaching a report, you can now, as a manager, instant message your accounting staff and ask them their question. And the accounting staff can quickly instant message back with an immediate response. So there's the timing issue there where you can get much quicker, more relevant responses to your reporting needs. The next thing is jump to key areas of the report for faster analysis. You'll see over here on the right-hand side I have my balance sheet, and you'll see my jump keys right here. I can go from assets to cash and short-term investments to total cash. Balance sheets have a lot of lines on them, so do profit and losses. You can very easily go to that jump key and go to a particular section in a report to look at something. It'll help you page within that report. It can help you find a key value in a report, such as an account value or a particular description. You can jump on descriptions, on calculations, on totals, on text rows. They don't necessarily have to have a financial data link to be able to jump to that particular line. So those are all your options to be able to jump through a report. Locate key features in the report viewer with an enhanced toolbar. Anybody who's using the Management Reporter now can see the toolbar, and it kind of looks a little bit like Excel, but it doesn't have all the features. Now there's quite a few more. You'll see down here, here's an example of your key features. You have a quick, easy export to Excel or export to XPS or print it. You have an email option, a drill down option. You now can hit that comment key in the comment to be able to put a comment or to copy something or to IM, or here's your, over here on the far right are your choices of charts that you have. The next section we're going to go over is report collaboration. In report collaboration, we're going to look at personalizing and secure views of data for all output types. More secure report output options, such as published to a ready XPS report format or published to a personalized Excel document. We're going to go into more report distribution flexibility. Now in Management Reporter, you have the ability to schedule reports and generate them on that periodic basis. Publish reports to multiple SharePoint or network locations. Email reports via SharePoint alert, or email a link to a report within the report viewer. These email features were not were something that was lost when Management Reporter initially came out from FRX, and so these the email capabilities are a big deal. Also, the ability to publish the reports. Most people run change reports, they run report packages, so the ability to be able to publish and schedule that is a big time saver. The first thing we're going to go over is personalized and secure views of data for all output types. You'll see on the bottom here, here's my kind of security screen. These are my options. I have Management Reporter 2012 report viewer, I have Microsoft Excel, and I have an XPS viewer. The XPS viewer is read only. These are the different levels of security that you can apply to your Management Reporter of how your users can view your report. Next is the difference between a published read-only report format and a published personalized Microsoft Excel document. You'll see on the left-hand side, this is a read-only version. On the right-hand side, it's an Excel version. It's the exact same report. The only difference is in the Excel version, someone could go in and insert a column or insert a row or insert notes, that kind of stuff. On the right-hand side, there's nothing that they can do to that report. They can just simply view it. Next is the More Report Distribution Flexibility. This is the screen that you'll now see so that you can generate reports and publish reports in multiple SharePoint services. You'll see on the right-hand side the settings. So you can create report groups and you call them whatever you want. So if you have management reports, if you have your monthly reports, if you have different types of reports, you can name the groups how you want. In your security, what you see down below this is your scheduled owner. Who's the one who has permission to be able to view this report group? Next, you'll see down here in the middle is frequency. When do you want this to start? What time do you want the report to run? So if you know your financials are due by the 10th and they're ready on the 8th, you can schedule your reports to automatically go out and be there by 5 o'clock on the 9th, so that you know first thing in the morning when everybody gets there, their financial reports are there. Or have them go at 7 o'clock in the morning. That's up to you. You have your reoccurrence patterns. Do you want it to go daily, weekly, monthly, annually? How many intervals do you want for the day? How many weekdays? And then you have at the bottom range of reoccurrence. So you can set it to go. If it's a monthly report, you can set it to go 12 times. Then you know it's going to go once a month. So it will also tell you when the report was last run. On the right-hand side, generate to multiple report library locations. Most people are using Management Reporter now. You know in your report viewer you have the report library. And within that report library, you can put shared folders in there and call them what you like and be able to distribute reports to those shared folders. And then your viewers have security access to particular folders. So whether or not a viewer has access to that folder is whether or not they can open up that report. So you'll see over here I have two different locations. I have Library Finance and I have Library Sales. And then over here I also have a linked location because I want this report to go to I want a link to go to my SharePoint site as well, so that my managers who don't necessarily have access to the drill down viewer can also go on the SharePoint site and be able to view reports. You also have the replace existing for the SharePoint site. So if every month you republish your reports and you want to replace the existing one or add to it, those are your choices right there. Next is to email reports via SharePoint alert. You can email a link to a report from within Report Viewer. So you're not necessarily attaching your report to your email, you're just sending a link to where the report is located and where the viewer can access the report. You can see how it is profit and loss of the department has been changed, so you can put in your, if it's an updated report or something like that, you can also put that information in as well. Next is we're going to go over design flexibility. And in design flexibility, we're going to look at quickly identifying accounts and dimensions omitted from building blocks. Right here, we're looking at missing account analysis. So we can see if you have the exception reports that tell you whether or not you're missing any accounts on your report. And when you have those exception reports, they usually print at the end of your report. So if you are missing accounts on your reports, it'll print an exception report for you. This is basically a little bit more in detail than an exception report. And you create your building block names, and then you go ahead and check your exceptions at the end to see if anything's being omitted. Next, in design flexibility, you're going to control how account descriptions are formatted. A lot of my clients who use Management Reporter, and you'll see it's kind of small, but if you look all the way on the report on the right, anybody who uses Management Reporter right now, when they pull in that account on their report, they see the segment, what type of segment it is, and then the account number. So if you're looking at an account column in your report, you're seeing usually natural and then the account number, not just account number. You do have the ability to take away that natural now and just have your account number. So if you just want to see, you know, cash and then my cash account is 1,000, you can see that now. If you wanted to see cash natural 1,000, you can see that as well, or the whatever segment you wanted by, you know, department or division or something like that. So you have the ability to go both ways on that one now. Easily save and reuse dimension combinations when designing reports. If your reports, if your rows, if you're always using, you know, cost center and natural account or cost center and department, you can create that you can create that combination so that it's all one number to you, and you're not, it's kind of like, it's almost like you're concatenating those two together, so that when you create your reports, those are your options, is cost center and department, as opposed to having to weed through your entire chart of accounts. Formatting headers for rolling forecasts. This provides the ability to create a rolling forecast with the correct headers using the based concept. The AutoText works with the weeks column when in a period you define, and then you can use the base and the base plus X and base minus X in a spread form to spread it out. And you'll see over here, this is kind of the row format that we're going with. So we have actual, and then we have budget up here in column C, and you'll see we have a column. You'll see we have a column for actual and budget all the way through, and we have base. And then we have periods, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4. Then you look down in print control and you see the P equals base and then the P greater than, less than, equals. So your report's going to automatically turn off those actual columns and turn on the budget, or vice versa, turn off the budget columns and turn on the actual columns when you need to. Now you'll see an example of the report, and you'll see when it's generated, the difference between the generated report and the column layout is you'll see the generated report is as of April 30th. So it automatically, if you look at the column layout, it's not showing you column C, it's not showing you column E, it's not showing you column G or I. It's taking all those away and just showing you the actual, and it's doing it automatically behind the scenes. And that's it. We can go into some questions now. Or I can switch, yeah.
What we're going to do is we're going to show some of this actually in Management Reporters, some of the things that we just went over. Kind of switch back and forth from the presentation to the actual application would have been a little cumbersome. So if anybody has any questions, we'll unmute the lines now while Colleen's making a change over, and we'll see if we can address the questions.
Jackie wants to know, can you copy codes from the Excel file? Go ahead and read it.
So can you copy codes?
Jackie wants to know if you can copy codes from an Excel file to an MR row format rather than type in a bunch of codes individually.
By codes, Jackie, if you mean natural accounts, yes. You can open up your row formats that are currently existing in FRX and copy and paste the entire thing, description, all the columns. Because if you look at a row definition inside Management Reporter, and I'm just going to open a blank one, your row definition is exactly the same format as it is inside Management Reporter as it is in FRX. So you can take your row format from FRX and just highlight the entire thing and copy and paste it into Management Reporter, and it should flow perfectly.
Oh, from FRX to Management Reporter?
Yeah.
So what about from an Excel spreadsheet?
You can do it from Excel as well.
But
as long as your accounts are formatted in the same digits, you don't necessarily need account equals in the brackets. If you just have a natural account in there, you should be able to copy and paste it in
can it only be the natural account? Can it be, I mean, like, because I have spreadsheets on Excel that, you know, have a bunch of codes, you know, all different codes, and sometimes I like to just copy and paste the same exact codes that are on my Excel form into FRX.
Where that's different in Management Reporter is because it has to have this dimension, this
plus account.
The sub-account or the account naming, I think is what it is. If I do that, then you can create a formula in FRX and create, you know, if you break out your columns and put a different segment in each different column and put the column header at the top and then do a concatenation formula that says, you know, take where it says account equals and take that cell plus, you know, sub-account equals in that cell and do the concatenation and then copy that down. You can copy that last column directly in as long as you make it in the same format, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions?
Okay.
We're going to put you guys all back on mute and then continue with the presentation.
I'm going to go into my report viewer. I don't know if I have any reports in there. I just went into my report viewer, so I'm just going to open up an income statement, for example, and you'll see once this gets going. There we go. Make it a little bit bigger. You'll now see across the top, you'll see that the toolbar that I showed earlier. If you want this to go into Excel, you simply click this. So it's a lot like SmartList. You can click Excel, you can click XPS, you can click Printer, you can click Email. It's very easy to get it into that format. If you wanted to copy a link, you can select Copy a Link. If we want to put notes on here, you'll see as soon as I clicked on that Sales Return button, I now have the ability to put comments on there. So I can select that comment, and here's my notes. I'm going to be very creative here and put comment number 1, and then say OK. And you'll see now it's whoever I'm logged in as. Right now I'm logged in as administrator, and now there's a note on that. So that was pretty simple and easy. And as I close this report, any other users that have the ability to come in and view this report will now be able to see that note that I put on there. Okay. I don't have the IMing on mine. It's hard to show IMing. Yeah, link is just copy a link to that. What else to show? On the actual report side of it, if you go into column definitions, you'll see over here the account and how you now have just the account code or to you've got the ability to just pull the account codes, not necessarily the account descriptions. You still have the ability to get your detail, your transaction level detail in here. So if I go back to my viewer, on a side note, anybody who installs this, you'll notice when you have your original management reporter, it's under its own separate folder, Microsoft Dynamics ERP. When you upgrade to 2012, it's all included in your Microsoft Dynamics folder now. So you'll go to Microsoft Dynamics, and then you'll see GP 2010. You'll see any other Microsoft products that you have with Dynamics, and you'll go to Management Reporter, and that's where your designer and viewer will live going forward. I'm going to look at open up the income statement again, and then we'll look at the account and see that it's just the account and not the description with the account. We have facilities. Yes. That's really it. Are there any other questions?
Okay, so it looks like we don't have any additional questions. If anybody wants, if there's, I guess, any additional questions that come up after our presentation here today, or if you'd like any additional information on Management Reporter 2012 or upgrading to Management Reporter 2012, you can please reach out to me. My contact information is there and our phone number. So more than happy to talk to you guys and kind of work on any questions or things that you may have. So with that, thank everybody for joining us today, and we'll talk to you soon.